Hello, everyone! Hello, welcome to the show. I'm Paolo del Rosario. Let's get you up to speed on some news that you could use right now on this Friday.
Hi there, beautiful people. I'm Anne Asis-Carilo. Woo! Thank God it's Friday. Let's start things right with a dose of laughter, inspiration, information, and unstoppable energy.
Happy Friday! I'm Monique Tuzon. Anytime's a good time because it's most fun with us. Join us in the next hour and a half for stories and conversations that matter.
Anytime's a good time, bago yan.
I
And
didn't
what
write
does that mean? You didn't write that?
It's like a jingle.
No, that's why I was like, oh, it's a new intro. Who wrote it? Thank you. It's cute. I said, no, they're changing it up.
Anytime's a
cute.
good time.
Ba't ang gulo ninyo?
with us.
You see, look.
We're gulo. You're the one who started the hello everyone before us. Ann and I were in sync.
Wait.
True.
Always.
Wait. Can we just preview what just happened right now?
What?
Huh? Because she started moving and there's a stress relieving dance later daw.
Oh, yeah, she's
Balita ko.
previewing. And she said she didn't want to dance, but she's already dancing.
Actually, she's the only one going to
Every
dance
time
later.
when the camera's on, I'm like, okay, energy. But when the camera's off, I'm like, okay.
That's not true, by the way. That's not true.
But anyway, yeah, we have a psychologist joining us later to tell us how we can de-stress after that
Through
very
dancing?
busy work.
Right?
I know, through dancing.
I've never heard of that, but let's find out how Anne's going to do it.
Yeah.
But you know
I'm
what?
really
Exercise
interested.
is one way to de-stress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't know how I mean, I guess Zumba.
Zumba, yeah.
Yeah, so that's all you, girl. Take it away. But we also have the MMDA spokesperson coming for Weather HQ.
Yeah, I mean, like, we got a packed show as
Always.
usual. Yeah,
Especially on Fridays. We've had packed shows.
Yeah, and also we have the guests from Australia
We
coming
got
in
some
also.
chefs.
Adobros. I
Yes,
love the name.
Adobros, coming
Adobros.
in.
Are
I
they
mean, like-
bringing adobo?
Well, they're in Australia.
No,
Oh,
they're
if
here.
they have
They're
the-
coming here.
I know.
Wait, Pal, let's hear your best Australian accent before we start.
Oh,
'Cause you're
yeah.
from Australia. Let's hear if you say hi to them.
Oh wow! Wait. How do they sound like? No, I can't do it now. I really can't do it now.
Why?
Because my good day, it's not
Oh,
not
he did
good
it.
enough.
He
It's not good
did.
enough yet.
He
No,
did.
may standards kasi ako, guys. Alright. Pero yung good day mate ko is not. It's not there yet. It's not there.
This is the exact reason why I didn't want to do accents yesterday, and you put me on the spot.
That was not me. I was told by the prod to have you guys
Can I just say,
sample
sobrang bitter
accents.
talaga ni Anne tungkol doon. If for those who don't know what we're talking about, kindly watch our episode yesterday.
Yes.
Where Anne was put on the spot and then fought Mo after the show. But,
That was the scaredest I've ever seen Anne in my life. She was so lost.
Oh my God! And then all I could think of was like Harry Potter spells.
It's like,
Which-
Anne, do your best accent. Expecto Patronum! Like, what? She's gonna make me kulang pala.
That is not kulam, but anyway.
What have I got
Oh my
myself into?
goodness.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, let's get the show going. Let's find out whether or
Yes.
not Mo can run away from Anne today.
I can.
No, you're gonna get stuck in traffic, girl. But yeah, let's check out the roads and major thoroughfares this morning. Here is what's happening. Along EDSA Quezon Avenue flyover, already looking busy as of this hour. On the left side are the vehicles going to Quiapo. As you can see, moderate traffic already building up on that stretch. On the opposite lane, right side are the vehicles headed to the Quezon Memorial Circle. Light to moderate traffic also on that area. Now this time, let us take a look at EDSA White Plains. On the left side of your screens are vehicles going to Shaw Boulevard. You will be slowing things down if you're headed southbound. Moderate to heavy traffic already building up as of this hour on that stretch. Opposite lane, still free-flowing. Those are the vehicles heading to Cubao. Now heads up to motorists. The expanded vehicle number coding scheme is in full swing. It's a Friday, guys. So vehicles with license plates ending in 9 and 0 should be off the road right about now until 10 a.m. and again later from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Now let's find out what the weather's gonna be like this Friday. Paolo has today's forecast from Weather HQ. Take it away, Pao.
Thank you so much, Mo. Gusto ko na yung Friday mo may question mark. It's not really a statement, it's more of a question. But Today, the country continues to be influenced by the same prevailing weather system. So the intertropical convergence zone still affecting most of the country in the south over in Mindanao, while the easterlies are influencing the conditions for the rest of the Philippines. Now, let's focus on the ITCZ. Now, due to the presence of the ITCZ, Mindanao and eastern Visayas and even parts of Palawan will generally feel the cloudy skies accompanied by scattered rain showers and thunderstorms, which may be heavy at times. So, residents in these areas have to prepare for potential flash floods or landslides. Now, in Metro Manila and the rest of the country, the easterlies will continue to bring partly cloudy to cloudy skies and generally cloudy skies all throughout the region. Now, despite this, hot and humid conditions will still be experienced throughout the day, with possible isolated rain showers or thunderstorms developing in the afternoon or in the evening hours. Now, let's check how the latest heat index looks like from Pag-asa. And today, there are several areas across the country that are under scorching temperatures. Now, multiple locations have reached a dangerous heat index of 44 degrees Celsius. These include Bacnote in La Union, Sangni Point in Cavite, Infanta, Quezon, and San Jose in Occidental Mindoro. A blazing 43 degrees Celsius is also expected in the following areas: Dagupan City, Lawag, Ilocos Norte, Apari in Cagayan, Daet, Camarines Norte, Butuan, and Agusan del Norte. Several locations have registered 42 degrees Celsius, a level that remains within the danger zone. These include Metro Manila, Tuguegarao City, Baler, Aurora, Iba, Zambales, Subic Bay, Olongapo, Camilig, Tarlac, and Tanawan, Batangas. Other areas also recording 42 degrees Celsius are Coron, Palawan, Cuyo, Palawan, Legazpi, Albay, Masbate City, Huban, Sorsogon, Pili, Camarines Sur, Catarman, and Northern Samar. Now, with these extremely high heat index levels, residents in all the affected areas are strongly advised to stay indoors during peak heat hours, usually between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. Drink plenty of water, wear light and breathable clothing, and carry an umbrella if you need to go out. Now, if you experience any dizziness, nausea, or excessive sweating, find shade immediately and seek medical attention. Stay cool, stay safe, and stay hydrated. Now, in terms of the sea conditions, there are currently no gale warnings across the country, so that means it is generally safe for small vessels to go venture out to sea. Now, winds and wave heights remain light to moderate, but mariners and fisherfolk are still advised to stay vigilant and regularly monitor official updates before setting sail. Now, let's check in on Mount Canlaon. Phivox maintains alert level 3 over Canlaon volcano due to the intensified magmatic unrest. 4 volcanic earthquakes were recorded in the past 24 hours. Sulfur dioxide emissions reached 2,533 tons per day, with steam plumes rising up to 100 meters. The volcano's edifice is inflated, indicating magma buildup. Phivox strongly advises evacuation within a 6-kilometer radius. Aircraft are prohibited near the volcano due to ash hazards. Possible threats include explosive eruptions, lava flows, ashfall, pyroclastic flows, rockfall, and lahars. Residents are urged to stay alert and follow official advisories. That's it for Weather HQ at this moment. Girls, back to you.
Thank you so much, Pao, for that weather update. The defense team of former President Rodrigo Duterte makes a request to the International Criminal Court to remove 2 of its judges from his case. Duterte's camp questions the impartiality of the 2 judges who they claim already have a stance on ICC jurisdiction. Despite not having evidence of bias, Duterte's counsel believes the, quote, appearance of bias is enough for disqualification. The presidency of ICC is yet to decide on the matter. Meantime, in an interview on BNC's Agenda, ICC Assistant to Counsel Cristina Conti says it is within any party's right to question the impartiality of the judges, but she explains this DQ case may cause some complications.
Na babagabag kami na baka makatagal ito dito sa schedule natin dahil ready na tayo sa merits of the case, dapat sana ng September. Ang isang komplikasyon na kailangan ding i-point out, so inaddress nila ang kanilang request for disqualification sa presidency. Ang presidency, ito ay parang may president yung court talaga, vice president at dalawang vice presidents na nangangalaga or nagpapatakbo ng korte generally. More of administrative. Yung isa sa tatlo dyan ay yung mismong judge na disqualify. Kaya si Judge Alapini Gansu is the second vice president of the presidency. So parang sinasabi na sa presidency, pwede nyo bang i-disqualify yung dalawang judge sa pre-trial chamber? Pero kapag nagpasya kayo, hindi pwedeng magpasya yung judge kasi siya mismo yung pinapatanggal dun sa isa. Kaya medyo komplikado.
With the recent win of former President Rodrigo Duterte for the position of Davao City Mayor, it is unclear how he will be able to perform his duties or even take his oath of office while in custody at The Hague. COMELEC spokesperson Attorney Rex Laudianco states that the commission's mandate is to proclaim the candidate chosen by the public, and so far, no court has ordered them to halt the proclamation of Duterte as city mayor. According to DILG Region 11, even if he is proclaimed mayor, Duterte still needs to take his oath to assume office.
Come June 30, 12 noon, assume na sila. Pero dili sila maka-assume kung dili sila maka-take oath. So si FPRRD, di man guna pwede na mag-oath online or Zoom. So kailangan personal. So ang magiging acting mayor nato is the vice mayor, which is Vice Mayor Baste. Tapos ang sa dito sa Sangguniang Panglungsod, ang mag-acting vice mayor, it is the highest ranking city councilor.
Rodrigo Duterte's daughter, Vice President Sara Duterte, has said she is working with her father's legal team on how the former president can take his new oath.
The Commission on Elections say Monday's polls recorded the highest voter turnout for a midterm election. COMELEC records show a turnout of over 80% this year. The poll body also confirms there were no reported cases of failure of election, even at the precinct level. Winning senatorial candidates will be proclaimed Saturday afternoon, while winning party list groups will be named on Monday.
Tutuwa tayo dahil bagamat ito ay isang midterm election, ay nag-register siya ng ganung kadami na bilang ng mga botante natin na bumoto nitong nakarang election. Again, highest in the history of a midterm election. Nagpapasalamat po tayo sa lahat ng workers, teachers, PNP, AFP, ang ating pong lahat ng tumulong sa Commission on Elections dahil wala po tayo kahit isa na failure of election. Again, wala po tayo kahit isa na failure of election sa buong bansa sa kahit na isang presinto. At kahit po sa abroad, wala po tayong isa man sa 93 post ang hindi po nakapag-eleksyon nitong Mayo 12.
COMELEC reminds all candidates to remove all their campaign posters and paraphernalia within 5 days after the elections. The poll body said it will file a case against those who will fail to meet the deadline. Candidates were also reminded to dispose of the materials properly. The Court of Appeals 8th Division has reversed the acquittal of former Senator Laila de Lima from her case on illegal drugs. The CA has favored the petition for certiorari of Solicitor General Menardo Guevara. According to the CA, there was grave abuse of discretion by the Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court in acquitting the former senator. De Lima was imprisoned in 2017 for her alleged involvement in the new Bilibid prison legal drug trade when she was Justice Secretary. The Muntinlupa RTC acquitted her of her third and final drug case in June 2024.
The Angeles City Regional Trial Court has ordered the arrest of former presidential spokesperson Harry Roque and Filipino-Chinese businesswoman Cassandra Ong. This for charges of qualified trafficking over their alleged involvement in the operations of Lucky South 99, an illegal Philippine offshore gaming operator or POGO in Porac, Pampanga. The said POGO was raided in 2024 for allegedly operating a massive scam farm that trafficked workers. Roque is currently in the Netherlands where he is seeking political asylum. In a statement, he called his arrest, quote, unjust prosecution.
In world news, Ben Cohen, the co-founder of ice cream company Ben & Jerry's, was arrested after protesting the Gaza war during U.S. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy's hearing. A video shows the moment Kennedy jumped out of his seat after a protester interrupted him. Cohen was part of the 6 pro-Gaza protesters that barged in the Senate hearing.
The witness was suspended. Kills poor kids in Gaza by buying bombs and pays for it by kicking kids off Medicaid in the U.S.
In Bolivia, hundreds of gold miners marched through the streets demanding their government to act on dollar and fuel shortages. The mining cooperatives also called for official recognition and inclusion in public policy framework. Miners were joined by other merchants making similar demands regarding dollar access and rising costs of basic goods. Bolivia has grappled with a dollar shortage since early 2023, along with a host of economic crises.
A Filipino climber was reported dead during an attempt to climb Mount Everest. Local media in Nepal reports Philip Santiago II passed away while preparing for the summit push. The managing director of Snowy Horizon Trek says Santiago reached Camp 4 late at night before his demise. The cause of death was not disclosed. This marks the first death of a foreign climber on Mount Everest this season. The 2 Sherpa support staff who fell ill at the base camp earlier died at a local hospital.
Moving on to entertainment, following the testimony of Cassandra Cassie Ventura against former boyfriend Sean Diddy Combs, his legal team seeks to undermine her claims of abuse. On day 4 of the trial against the hip-hop mogul, his defense showed text messages between the two from 2017, long after the abuse supposedly started, where Cassie states that she loves the freak-offs. Cassie Ventura told jurors not to take what she wrote literally. Loving freak-offs were just words at that point. Presiding Judge Aaron Subramanian, irritated with the slow pace of the cross-examination, has given the defense 1.5 days to question Ventura.
Singer Chris Brown has been arrested at his hotel in Manchester, UK, over an alleged assault at a London nightclub in 2023. He was arrested on suspicion of grievous bodily harm relating to an alleged attack against a music producer at the Tape nightclub in central London in February 2023. The arrest comes ahead the singer's Breezy Bowl tour. His team has not issued any comment as of this time.
Tom Cruise again owning the red carpet at the 78th Cannes Film Festival. The Hollywood superstar turned heads as he arrived to a live band rendition of the Mission Impossible theme song. His film, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, the 8th in the movie franchise, earned a 5-minute standing ovation. Expectations had been high for the A-list actor's return to Cannes 3 years after he presented Top Gun: Maverick with a colorful jet flyover. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning will hit international theaters next week. So I was able to see the full trailer of Final Reckoning.
Kala ko
I
si
thought he was about to run and watch the
Kala ko pumunta
trailer.
kang Cannes.
I did
She
not.
might have. She's here.
No, but I saw the full trailer and I was like, whoa, this is amazing. And there's some AI going on there.
How do you
So
know it's
kind of-
AI?
Because I saw it
Diba
on the
CG?
trailer. No, not the effects. Like Ethan Hunt versus AI, something like that.
Wait,
so it's
what?
so cool.
Are you sure?
The narrative of the movie. Yeah, it's cool. I saw the trailer and then he was being strapped into some high-tech thing Yeah,
So guys,
it was
manood na
so
kayo
cool.
ng
You guys
trailer.
are giving out
Kasi
so many
hindi marunong
spoilers.
He cannot
But you
tell
know
good
what?
stories.
But no, really, it looks like there's a lot of technology happening.
Yeah, because
in
this
that movie.
is a part 2. It's a direct
Yeah.
sequel to
Yeah.
the previous film.
Yeah,
of
and then
course,
I saw him again.
Oh, here she
running.
starts.
So every time you see Tom Cruise running his signature sprint, you will be reminded of me doing it on the show.
This was originally my story, and then I was like, give it to Anne because she was gonna do this.
No, actually, it's so funny because I was gonna say like this is the 8th movie. The first one came in the 90s, right?
We were just born.
Yeah, and this was based on a TV show.
Yeah.
Right. So and the song is still iconic, and they played it in a live band. And I just wanna see if your tone is right, Mo.
What?
Can you hum the tune of the Mission Impossible theme song?
I'm not doing it. I'm not
Let's
singing.
just
I'm not
play it on
humming.
our-
No,
on the show.
that's not how it works.
No, you can hum it, Anne, while you're running.
No, you hum it for me.
No,
and then
you
I'll
do it.
run.
You do it. Go hum it. Go hum
No,
it.
I'm not doing this. I've done other things on the show. I'm
Come
not
on,
doing
I'm already
humming.
doing it. Paolo.
Nope.
No, that's not how it works. All right, so anyway, Warner Brothers and DC have finally released the first official trailer for James Gunn's take on The Man of Steel. The film stars David Cornsweet in the titular role, Rachel Brosnahan, did I say that right? Brosnahan. Oh, thank goodness. As Lois Lane and Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. Here's a look at Superman.
Serious right now?
Yeah.
You'd let me interview.
He has a dog.
And that's
He has a
the
dog.
only reason why I'm watching the movie. Crypto Super Doggy is so cute
has
as
a
an animal
dog.
person. And I also had to Google when I watched the trailer. When I saw there's a dog, I always have to Google, is the dog gonna die? No, it's not.
It's a
so
it's a super
Crypto
dog.
is safe. Because if the dog dies, I'm not watching
No,
the
but
movie.
I know people like that. They don't watch movies
Yeah.
if an animal dies
Yeah, I
don't.
in the film. I mean, like, completely get it. We're gonna watch it for Superman, but the dog is a plus.
Nah, Crypto's so adorable. But oh my gosh, this like second half of the year is so exciting. All the movies coming out. I cannot wait.
All right, so what is the iconic theme song of Superman?
Superman, I actually don't know. I forgot.
The Christopher Reeves one?
Yeah, I forgot.
Anyway,
I
Sounds
didn't watch-
like Star Wars.
it is because John Williams wrote it also.
Ah.
John Williams wrote that. John Williams wrote Star Wars, and he also wrote Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Ako kasi
Yeah,
that's why they all
pagka
sound
naiisip ko
similar.
yung
Yeah.
theme song ng Superman, naiisip ko the old one, yung Can You Read My Mind by the old Superman. Alam
How
ko
old?
mga
How old?
Yung previous Can You Read? I know, like, way old.
No, but I'm excited for
Way
this. But
beyond your time.
he reminds me of the Smallville
Yeah, I
Superman.
forgot
He
his
does
name.
Reminds me of
Hold
the
on,
small-
I need to double check his
actor?
name.
Yeah.
'Cause
Google it.
Small.
It reminds me of
Yeah.
Smallville, but then of course, Crypto the dog coming in. Actually, ang daming set pieces. This looks like a
Tom
spectacle.
Welling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It-
he looks just like Tom.
Yeah, so let's see how this turns out because every time a Superman movie comes out, it's super scrutinized because he's the most iconic figure in the DC universe.
We'll see.
Alongside Batman, but you know.
But we'll see
There
though,
it is.
because this one has Super Dog, so I don't think people are gonna say anything bad about him.
Crypto the super dog.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's so
that's true.
cute. But up next, guys, let's meet two Filipino chefs cooking up something special in the international stage. Wait for it. The Adobros. Don't go away. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back.
Dun, dun, dun.
Hello, hello. Welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. Two of our kababayans are raising the flag in Australia with their bold and modern take on Filipino cuisine. Let's find out how they're redefining Filipino food in the land down under, one plate at a time. Joining us today are chefs Michael Pastrana and Morris Danzen Catanghal and their manager, Raine Laysico. It's a beautiful day. I hope I didn't scare you guys with my Australian accent because Paolo was floored. I clearly killed it. He compared to him this morning.
Killed me.
Anyway, I love the name Adobros. I was thinking, Anne, if ever we do like a show, we can be the Adosis.
Maybe.
Does that work? I like it though. How
No,
did
you'll be
we can-
sisig.
Or sisnigan.
Sisig.
That's a good one. Oh my gosh, y'all are so good at coming up with these names.
No, you're just terrible.
Si Paolo talaga today.
We were actually
Friday.
wondering if you were bringing adobo today.
Yeah, you know what? I thought you guys were gonna do like different spins on adobo, but how did y'all come up with the name Adobros?
That's the long story. It started out with a beer. You know, we ended up hanging out in one bar in Melbourne, and we started sharing our stories with each other. And because I was coming in from Italy before going to Australia, and we're sharing the same mission and vision, same with our experiences in life. And I said, hey, why don't we do a podcast or something, or let's do it together. I think it would work out, and it would be better to do it together.
And it naging siyang Adobros because we are thinking, what's our common ground? I think it's adobo, and then sabi, why bros?
Yeah.
Sino ang nanay nyo, inang bayan ng aming nanay. So it become Adobro.
That's nice.
So adobo runs in our blood.
Our blood's adobo sauce, right?
We are
Salty.
and sweet. Depends on where you're from. That's so, right? Depends on the region you're from.
Yeah.
But first off, Raine, I want to congratulate you guys first because you were recently awarded something here from the DTI. Can you tell us a bit more about this latest accolade for you guys?
So it's a special recognition because prior to me being a manager of Adobros, I am actually a writer, a journalist, and an advocate in Australia for the last 2 decades. So we've been championing and writing about Filipino stories. And it just so happened that one of the best things, because I've been a migrant for 20 years now, and one of the best things when I first started was to look for our food overseas. So, and I've just been so privileged that DTI and the people at CITEM and IFEX has recognized that together with the current greats, Erwan and Abby. So it's a wonderful opportunity, and it's really to shine a light on Filipino food globally and to invite everyone to IFEX as well. So yeah, thank you so much, Paolo.
Chef Michael and Chef Morris, did you grow up here in the Philippines?
Yes.
Yes.
I came from Kalumpit, Bulacan originally, and he's from.
I'm from Lucena, Quezon Province.
So which part of your Filipino upbringing, influenced your cooking style?
For cooking, for me, I think yung upbringing na more on the warm side with the family. You always wanting to share the table, the food with the family, friends, and a little bit strict sometimes.
What I like about the story, so syempre nag-originate kayo dito sa Pilipinas. I mean, like, you sound like it because Raine sounds like she's been out for 20 years.
Yeah, we heard Australian accent.
I know, but I love it. I love the accent. But apart from that, you mentioned you came from Italy first.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels very global, yung experience ninyo. How do you translate yung Filipino food to more foreign palates? Because, as I'm sure you'd know, just the storytelling of it and introducing something very foreign to other people is a bit difficult because it looks different. But let's start off with the both of you first. Like, how do you translate that?
For me, you need to know first their palate and how you present the food in a way that they can appreciate your flavors and all that, but without ruining the soul of the dish.
How do you find the soul?
The soul is, I think, your values in cooking. it's not only the taste, but the whole experience itself. And with Filipino food, you need to be generous. Minsan sabi ko nga, sarapan mo lang.
What I like is you're an accounting graduate, tama ba?
Yes,
You did accounting
management accounting.
Yeah. Does that make it easier, Raine, managing these two?
I think it's easier in a way because you don't really walang away in when it comes to the purity of the cuisine, right?
Okay.
Because we have common ground. We all love the Philippines. We love to share our culture and tell our stories because food connects everyone.
That's
Yeah.
true.
That's the main thing.
I
Yeah.
want to follow up on Paolo's question actually because it's so interesting. Chef Michael, you actually do a fusion of Mediterranean food, correct? And the
Yes.
Filipino fusion.
Yes.
And Chef, you're from Sicily. So
Yeah.
how do you guys mix Mediterranean food with Filipino food and maybe that Italian palate? And how do you cater that with Filipino food? I guess, Chef, yeah. we'll start with you.
For that, I'm starting with how like the traditional way of cooking it, and then I'm using mostly the ingredients from the Philippines, but with Italian techniques and some hint of their ingredient, like one ingredient to make a difference, but still you can taste. Oh, it's Filipino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's an example of a dish that you tweaked one ingredient for the Italian palate?
For adobos, we've done a lot, but
Is there any favorite that sticks out?
which was the one?
Adobo dessert.
The adobo dessert.
Adobo dessert, yeah.
Adobo dessert?
Oh my goodness, tell us about that.
It was
Yeah.
4 a.m. and we're making our menu for our supper club.
Everything good happens at 4 a.m.
Paolo, they haven't slept yet. Yes. So settle that up. Yeah.
What are we going to do with the dessert? This is the last thing we need to make, and I don't want to do leche flan, I don't want to do ube, I don't want to do these things, and let's think out of the box, let's be creative, and let's see if we're gonna champion adobo or mess it up. But
and then it's just like because most of Filipino desserts are considered salads. So we have buko salad, dessert. Macaroni salad, dessert.
That's true.
Salad, dessert.
Yeah.
How about
Yeah.
so if a salad can become a dessert, why about a savory dish becoming a dessert? So okay, let's try adobo.
So did y'all reduce the sauce and make it like a balsamic glaze, essentially?
Sorry, nagulat ako sa pagka-technical niya.
She's keen.
I love food! I want to be a chef in my other life.
I just can't imagine like how the sauce is going to be like
that's
a
why I'm trying to put it
dessert.
together.
let's imagine this thing. We have the soy sponge cake, we have the chicken and turmeric crumble, we have the chicken and turmeric crumble.
I'm trying to picture that.
We have the banana and miso gelato. We have the spicy chocolate ganache. And then we have the coconut and rum spuma.
With lakan.
Why did you guys make this for us?
Lakan and is our premium lampanog, actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
So basically, with Filipino, because we are with Filipino adobo, which we don't have a standard recipe for.
Okay.
There are 7,000 islands and 7,000 different variations, recipes, and so okay, let's make one more adobo
recipe.
A dessert.
But Filipino
amazing.
food is rooted in memory. So
Yes,
how
yes.
do you determine which parts of traditional do you keep and then which parts do you reinvent?
What we're really doing is it's really hard to say if one thing is authentic now. Yeah. What we're doing now is we're embracing the influences. That's because that's what we do. We Filipinize food. Kung saan tayo malapit, kung anong ingredients na meron doon, kahit ibang lasa. If we're in Melbourne, iba ang toyo, iba ang karne, iba ang produce, but we still try to Filipinize it and make it adobo, So what we're doing is embracing those influences and continue with the evolution of food. So
Yeah, Raine, do you find it easier now to explain or at least tell the story of Filipino food now that you're working with them? Because I can only imagine how, because it feels like you're translating sometimes, trying to translate experiences, trying to translate flavors. So just how how easier it is it?
I think it's easier now. I think we mentioned last night that the pandemic really brought out the spirit of adventure and people taking risks I think globally with creators. So in Australia, what that has done is it allowed people to really pursue and follow their passion. So if you could see the thriving food scene in Melbourne, and going back to the original question on, I guess, how do you get people to try Filipino food? The way to do that is by what Chef Michael said, sticking true to the flavors, but at the same time, utilizing what's currently in that local market for us and making it really palatable and I think presentable. People eat with their eyes, as you know.
Right.
And it's a very welcoming part for us, and it's I think there's a lot more people who are open to trying it as well. So I think we've seen it when Gordon opened up, and said that, sisig from Melbourne was one of his favorite dishes and things like that. So we're just really trying to tell a piece of that story worldwide.
You guys mentioned earlier, chefs, that y'all do a supper club event events in Australia. How do you guys typically prepare the menu for those events?
Depends on how much time we got.
No sleep for it.
No sleep.
Yeah.
Normally, we try to think of which region we're gonna concentrate and which dishes we're gonna remake or redefine, and from there we will put in some techniques and some inspirations from our past experiences, and then put it all together. And
it's really a story. Sometimes, okay, what story do we want to tell right now?
Yeah.
What do we want to what do we want to tell our audience?
Yeah. What do we want to highlight this time and all that?
And from all your dishes that you guys have so far presented for the Australian audiences, which has probably taken you guys by surprise that Australians love the most?
I think the adobo dessert.
The adobo
Adobo dessert?
But if given three, the dehydrated champurrado and the baba ganoush ensalada.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
Dehydrated champurado.
I feel like I need to taste that to
hold on,
appreciate.
before we guess it, you guys, we should have totally told them to bring food.
You can try out our dishes actually. So this is the adobros. What's the name of our tour, chefs?
Oh,
I'm excited.
Yeah, this
I'm
is,
excited. What's the name of the tour?
Okay, sabay tayo.
Yes.
It's a Roots to Revolution tour.
Yeah.
We're having we're cooking for IFX this 22 to 25.
Yeah.
Yes.
We are having a collaboration with Guevara, Chef Jack, and Chef Lau.
Lau.
And then we're going to have a supper club at lobby 385.
And we're gonna do a cooking demo with Mamacita.
So
When
there's
is
a few
this?
What's the
things.
supper club?
It's the 21st.
Yeah.
So we're we've
I'm gonna be here. Oh my
We'll invite you.
Can you guys do another one in June?
Worst comes to worst, you guys are welcome to Melbourne.
I mean, obviously we'll take that.
Yeah.
So, and
Your football team
if
has to
you
stop
know
winning
where-
though. But just looking at everything that you're doing here, coming back to the Philippines, we're always curious about when Filipino cuisine will become more mainstream in the global stage. A lot of people are looking at Filipino food as niche or a bit of an acquired taste sometimes. But then what do you feel does Filipino food need to do to be quote-unquote mainstream on the global stage, even though some people might argue that it's already there in that realm of possibilities?
For me, right now we're creating momentum in a global scene. But to be more effective, I think each one of us should be proud of our food. We don't have to do much to showcase our food. Or you don't have to be a chef to be an advocate for Filipino food. You just have to be proud to share to everyone. Like a simple video, I cook this for my friends and this and that. Or just cook for your loved ones and your friends. And that's a simple way to advocate your culture and your food.
Well, before we wrap up, because we're running out of time, let's start with Raine. What advice would you like to give young creatives who want to put Filipino scene on the map?
I think you just have to follow your passion. The one thing that I always say, because I'm a mom of two, I've got two young boys, Kaizen and Kirian, is I would want them to choose the path that fulfills them. So if that's something that you really resonate with, you need to stick to it and make it happen. I feel that the 18 years and my 20 years in Australia, all those experiences and telling our Filipino stories and having that trust really just is all about, for me, wanting to help and wanting to really have that voice. And regardless of whether you have, here, like 2 people listening to you, 200, 2,000, it's not about that. It's about making a statement and ensuring that in your own little way you can make a difference. I think that's
the amazing thing is that we just got the word that they want to talk to them more. So we're not going to wrap up yet.
It's a prank, guys.
Okay.
Stop sending them away more.
When
They told me cut, so I wasn't sure.
when people are talking about Filipino food, the first thing that comes to mind, syempre, adobo, right?
Yes.
Adobo,
Yeah.
lumpia, pancit. But what do you think, Chef Michael and Chef Morris, what do you think is that Filipino food, Filipino dish that is so underrated, that deserves just as much hype? Kasi people are always thinking, Filipino food, adobo.
Oh, and you gotta
Lumpia
say
or
lumpia like Mo does. Mo?
Lumpia.
Lumpia and
Yeah.
pancit.
Pancit. But ano yung underrated na dish na also deserves that hype?
For me, underrated dish. Ito lagi kong kinakausap sa kanila kung paano natin i-champion. But I think he's doing it now too. But is tinola.
Tinola.
Because it's one of the only foods na katulad sa other countries where we're mixing fruit and we're mixing
Yes, yung raw
protein.
papaya.
Yes, we got
Yeah,
papaya, we
right,
got
right.
we got vegetables there, and we got the chicken.
Yeah.
And
Tastes like Hainanese rice too.
I
but
told- and I-
not
and I-
deconstructed.
And I
yeah.
asked him, what is more Filipino than tinola? You're using
Yeah.
Filipino chicken, you're using Filipino papaya and
Yeah.
malunggay,
It's like our chicken soup from the soul.
Yeah.
It's a Filipino version.
So now you're trying to put the twist to your
Yeah.
tinola. Okay.
Yeah, I have
Yeah, so what are you guys doing with that?
I have a crab tinola.
Crab tinola?
Yeah, crab tinola.
Okay.
The same elements, the stock was made with a chicken stock.
Okay.
And reduce it down with and emulsify with some coconut milk and ginger. Then I've made like a polpetta with the crab meat, and still we've got the essence of papaya and sayote in it. And when you taste everything together, it's still tinola. It's still comfort food. It will bring you back to the
Kailangan may
Philippines.
malunggay.
Yes.
Yes, there is a malunggay.
Malunggay, there.
And you also open up the papaya and sayote debate.
That is true.
Yeah. Well, and you guys can actually taste that. We are bringing
Yeah,
that
yeah.
Tinola?
Yeah.
to Guevara's.
Oh.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
really.
So
exciting.
yeah.
Good, perfect. I mean, like, first of all, I want to take an antihistamine already just to try that out. But when you talk about reconnecting, obviously you guys have been overseas a lot. You've bested Italians at their own game.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, he beat out 400 Italian
lot.
chefs
Yeah.
in Italian cooking. If I'm
In
not
their
mistaken,
soil.
in Italy. All right, that's that guy.
Chef Morris.
Just how important is it for the both of you to come back, reconnect, remember everything, learn again what's happening here in the Philippines in terms of the culinary scene? Because you guys are very global. But coming back home, I'm sure, means a lot as well.
I think you always need to ground yourself. Even if you went far away, you still need to go back and know more things about your culture. You need to be more Filipino when you're outside your country, and the only way to do that is to come back and cherish your own country. You know,
Like the roots to
The
revolution.
Roots to revolution. That's
You
why
go
we're
back
here.
to your roots. Yeah.
Chef Morris, with that being said, what's the most surprising thing you learned about maybe Filipinos in general or about your roots as a Filipino during this whole journey?
As a Filipino, I think the thing that I've learned about Filipino is that wherever we go, we're the warmest people you will ever meet, and we are the friendliest one, really.
Morris, you agree?
Yeah. Are you sure? Are you sure about that?
It's different inside the kitchen, but yeah.
Well, they call it the hot kitchen for a reason.
Yes,
And,
yes.
Guys, I think we're actually out of time.
Yeah, now I know we're
Okay.
wrapping up. We might not be able to, baka magalit pa kayo sa akin. Wrap
right.
na ba?
Oh, no.
We can talk
We can
some
go on more.
Hey, I love it. See, they love you guys.
So, wait, they're
Okay,
going to
go.
be at Guevara's, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
When is this again? Wait, I need to write down the dates because I'm going to be there.
Yeah. No, we'll
Okay.
invite you. We'll
Okay.
invite you. So we are chefs. So we are at Guevara's on the 20th. So, but our dishes would be available the entire month. So, tara na po sa Guevara's
At
with Chef
Guevara's.
Lau and Chef Jack. So, yes. So,
You've
so
never
Paolo,
been?
no excuse. You have to calm down.
Guys, I'm flying to Boracay next week.
I know. I'm leaving for Italy
Gonna go.
on Sunday.
Can you
I'm
guys
going to be
like...
gone, but I'll
Come
be
on.
here. I'm going to
Okay.
try.
Yeah, and we'll like take,
Yeah.
FaceTime
I'm
with
curious
everyone.
about that champurrado as well. Are you guys making that?
Guys, look, just fly to
Can I
Boracay na lang. Boracay na lang kayo.
We've got the 21st with Chef Kalel at Lobby 385. So, wait. Actually, we'll see, but that's already sold out. Thank you so much, mga kababayan. Our supper club
Are
is
y'all
sold
going
out.
to extend up to June, maybe mid-June? Or
No, unfortunately.
Asking for a friend.
But we're available at IFEX,
Yeah.
obviously, and we're cooking with chefs from Dubai, Chef Noel, and Chef Dabo as well.
Yes.
So watch that space.
Chef Noel, friend of the show. I like how this is becoming a food show.
Yeah, we'll invite
Food show, but
everyone.
there are no
Yeah.
food samples.
We were not informed, guys.
We highlight the
For
chefs
guest
first.
coordinator, you guys need to tell all the chefs to
Yes.
bring food.
Yeah.
Chefs,
We'll make sure.
I have a challenge for you guys before we let you go. Are we wrapping up na talaga? Not yet.
Not
Okay.
yet.
So no, I have a challenge for you guys. It might take a while. I want to see how you guys handle grace under pressure as chefs and how creative you guys are. So if you were to make tinola, because you guys mentioned tinola as a dessert, how would you guys do it?
That's a dessert.
Oh my
As
God,
a
I
dessert.
can't
Oh, wow.
wrap my head around tinola dessert.
Because you already made a double dessert.
It's
Why
not 4 a.m.
tinola?
It's almost 8 a.m. It's a different story.
But they haven't slept. Maybe the
Yeah.
creative juices are gonna flow.
I
Let's
think
see.
let's do it. Let's break down the tinola
Components.
and the
Yeah, go,
components.
let's see your
and the-
process.
okay.
Go ahead, guys.
I am going to start with the easiest one. I'm
Okay.
going to make papaya ice cream, papaya gelato. Your turn.
So I think I'm gonna make a papaya panna cotta. And then we can make a crumble out of the sayote.
The ginger's got to be there.
Yeah, it's going to be.
Yeah.
Let's put that in the crumble.
Or you guys can do crystallized ginger. For
Girls, wait lang sila. Wait lang.
part of the process.
Hindi muna, guys. Bros nga, adult bros. Okay?
Actually, we can.
Adult bros with sis.
Actually, we can do it in a way we're in. Okay, let's each give one an ingredient from the tinola and what were you going to do with the
Raine, ang
tinola?
hirap, no?
Yeah.
Oh, chill lang tayo,
you
eh.
and I are
Yeah,
spirit animals.
I see you. I see you.
Rain, let's try.
No. All right, so let's move on.
Maybe we can have some like.
No, this is what we're gonna
Akala
do.
ko creative
And
team
and so adobo dessert going back will be available at lobby. So let's see, Well, we'll talk offline. We have R&D after this one, so if you guys wanna calm down.
It's for real.
Chef Kalel, today,
It's for real.
Wait,
Chef
Malay
Kalel,
mo,
we're inviting the Bilyonaryo News channel team, Paolo, Monique, and Anne. We have R&D straight after this one, so you guys
Wow.
can
Yo,
join us. if you would like, chefs, right? They
Yes,
can, you
yes.
know, we are opening up the house. If you wanna, the prod team wants to come in, take some, you know, shots, and you guys get to experience a
And I
little bit.
feel like
Little
if
bit.
this tinola dessert happens, it's a collab
my
with It's a
God.
Beautiful
Yes,
Day.
even
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Oh my
Bring this in the
goodness.
set.
Hold on, we're up to something right now.
Yeah, tinola dessert.
That's
Kung,
it.
kung nag-viral yung dish na to and it starts off from here, this is like the best content.
Yeah,
Guys,
we're doing it.
now we really have to wrap up.
I'm not saying that.
Now we really have to wrap up because I
Done.
asked the right people. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. For those who want
Thank
to
you.
follow you
Thank
and of
you.
course to learn more about your projects moving forward, even beyond this particular trip, where can they do so? So, Raine, I think you're as Miss Manager.
That's his manager. Well, before I go to that, I'd also want to say that the Roots to Revolution tour is powered by NutriBullet. So thank you so much, Wars, for really supporting Filipino flavors. And we'd really love to thank all our chef partners, Chef Jack, Chef Lau, Chef Kalel, Mamacitas, and obviously the IFEX team. So come down when? To IFEX chefs?
From 22nd, come down when we're kicking the 23rd.
23rd at
11
11
a.m.
a.m. That's what's happening. But follow us at adobros.au on Instagram, and I'm sure you'll
Facebook.
see us floating around. And we just really also want to thank Abby for our
Yeah.
upcoming collab video. We also want to thank Miss Nancy Lumen, the Adobo Queen. We're doing something with her and a few others. So it's a really full schedule. So maraming salamat po sa pagtangkilik sa Adobros, and we will see you, Anne.
Yes,
I don't know about
100%,
Monique and Paolo.
100%. And
So there
with
you
that,
go.
ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Again, they are the Adobros, Chef Michael Pastrana and Danzen Catanghal alongside Ms. Raine Laysico. Thank you so much for
Thank you,
joining us.
guys.
Such a
Amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Maraming salamat.
All right, so when we come back, I'll be speaking with the MMDA Chairman Armando Artes on how the agency is responding to the massive 6.1 tons of trash collected across Metro Manila during Election Day. Stay with us. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. This is Weather HQ. Now, the Metropolitan Manila Development Authority, or MMDA, recorded an alarming 6.1 tons of garbage collected across Metro Manila during Election Day. Now, from posters and flyers to plastic waste, as well as food packaging, and the sheer volume of trash has once again highlighted issues on accountability, environmental awareness, and what measures needs to be in place in the future to prevent this. Now, on the line with us is MMDA Chairman Armando Artes, to discuss the agency's response and plans moving forward. Chairman, maraming salamat. Thank you very much for joining us. Let's dive into it because 6.1 tons of trash on Election Day. Ikumpara po natin on previous election cycles, just how big of a problem is this, or was there actually an improvement considering yung mga measures na sinasabi ng COMELEC that they were trying to do to lessen yung trash and pollution po?
Actually, as of yesterday, it's more than 11,000 kilograms na ang na-collect ng MMDA. Wala pa po dyan yung mga kinolekta ng mga LGU. So, iniipon namin yung data to be able to get the exact figure. But I think compared to the previous year, mas marami po yung na-collecta nating basura, particularly tarpaulin. More than 23,000 pieces of tarpaulins po ang ating nakuha. And ongoing pa po yung ating backlash operation, and mag-increase pa po yan, pero hanggang today na lang po yung ating operations, and matatapos naman po namin within the day.
Chairman, karamihan ba sa mga trash collected were the tarps?
Yes, tarps, 23,000 pieces so far ang nakolekta namin as of yesterday.
Sir, ano yung pinamalaking challenges in terms of election day, post-election day cleanups po ng MMDA?
Well, una-una yung mga tarpaulins na nasa medyo matataas na lugar, kailangan pang akyatin ng aming mga tauhan para completely maalis. Kasi kung pababayaan lang namin ito, pag yan ay nasira, umulan, mapupunta yan sa estero or sa ating mga canals na magdudulot ng pagbara at pagbaha. So, kaya sinisikap namin alisin as much as possible lahat ng mga tarpaulins, whether or not nakakabit sa illegal or legal na lugar.
Sir, this election cycle in particular, COMELEC has advised yung mga candidates po, mga party list, to be more responsible with the material used in terms of yung mga campaign materials nila and of course the location on where they are. As a broadly speaking po, sa palagay niyo po ba, nasundan ba to by the majority of the candidates or may problema pa rin here in this particular election cycle?
Well, I think sa observation ng aming mga tauhan, ang kusang nagbabaklas ay yung mga nanalo. Pag medyo natalo na, hindi na nag-exert ng effort kasi may expenses din yan, yung pagtatanggal. So, probably we can make a recommendation sa COMELEC na yung mga hindi magbabaklas na whether or not natalo or nanalong kandidato, dapat i-disqualify na from running again sa next or succeeding elections. So, dapat siguro mas maging strict tayo sa consequences noong hindi pagtatanggal nitong kanilang mga tarpaulins after elections.
Sir, when it comes to partnerships in terms of the cleanup, who does MMDA partner with? Is it mainly the LGUs and the candidates or are there any other organizations as well?
Well, una na dyan ang LGUs. As I've said earlier, meron naman silang sariling operations. That's why we have to get the numbers from them kung ilan ang nakuha nila. May mga partners din tayo ng mga LGUs naman to process this waste para po ma-recycle like BJMP, may tayo po sa COMELEC, papadala po namin sa kanila para yung mga persons deprived of liberty ay makagawa ng mga eco bags. Meron din mga private sector like I received a call yesterday from Manila Teachers Party List, Congressman BG Lacson, say mag-start siya ng programa na gawing eco bag itong mga tarpaulins na to. So, nangihingi po siya ng mga tarpaulins para magawang eco bag.
Sir, when apart from that particular project or that particular proposal, ano yung mga programa ng MMDA po to address yung solid waste problem, not just for this election cycle po, but in general moving forward?
Well, yung mga pwedeng gamitin, meron tayong eco brick making facility sa Bitas. Gigilingin namin itong mga basura na ito, tapos iahalo namin as filler, paggawa po ng hollow blocks, concrete barriers, at mga bricks po na ginagamit naman namin para sa mga parks and other purposes.
When you mentioned it a while ago po, yung if ever yung observation nyo, yung proposal is that yung mga natalo na candidates, baka there could be a warning or there could be something in the future that would probably disqualify them from running again if they do not clean up yung mga material nila. But are there any other proposals the MMDA has in mind for a more trash-free election siguro sa susunod na election cycle?
Well, pwede naman po yan. Pinag-aaralan din namin, baka pwedeng biodegradable yung mga trash. We'll discuss it sa COMELEC siguro after ma-settle at matapos tong election period.
Sir, when you look at the current sustainable solid waste management, you mentioned yung mga eco bricks po ninyo, yung mga being able to turn these tarps in particular into mga eco bag. Gaano ka-importante sa MMDA yung creating programs and projects that are sustainable, especially when it comes to waste management po natin?
Well, we really wanted to promote circular economy. Na itong mga basurang ito, instead of dumping it sa mga sanitary landfills, ay magamit. Kasi tama yung sinasabi nila, may pera rin sa basura. So, itong mga basurang po ito ay dapat magamit muli instead na, again, sa landfill mapunta or worse, sa ating po mga daluyan ng tubig and eventually sa karagatan po natin na harmful po sa environment.
So, Chairman, right before we let you go, when we take a look at the entire cleanup process, the entire pollution problem after the election, how would you say this election cycle has gone when it comes to yung solid waste management po natin? And of course, what do you feel is the biggest point we need to improve on for the next cycle?
Well, dapat siguro pag-aralan kung paano mababawasan ito po mga tarpaulins na ito at kung paano magkakaroon ng proseso sa pagre-recycle at pagsasaayos. Dahil parami po ng parami talaga yung tarpaulins na, again, pag hindi po na sino ay magiging environmental hazards and cause din po ng flooding. So we really have to study it carefully kung paano natin magiging maisaayos nito at magko-coordinate po kami sa COMELEC para magkaroon ng regulation.
Maraming salamat. I know you have an event, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. He is MMDA Chairman Romando Artes. Maraming salamat po and we hope to see you again next time.
Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning po. Now, that's it for Weather HQ this week. Girls, back to you.
Thank you, pal. Now, is today going to be your lucky day or not? Let's go find out from our resident energizer and feng shui master, Hans Kua, in our horoscope of the day. Take it away, Master Hans.
Good morning! It's a beautiful day with me, Master Hans Kua. Ito po ang horoscope ngayong Friday, May 16. Para sa mga pinanganak ng Year of the Rat. In any relationship, honesty is the best policy. Jade at Wad. Punta naman tayo, King of the Ox. Easy ka lang sa kape, Replace it with tea. Purple at 8. Sa mga Year of Tiger naman tayo. Quality over quantity sa trabaho. Orange at 3. Punta naman tayo kay Rabbit. Magpahinga at nang maigi para makaiwas tayo, sa burnout. White at 6. Sa mga Dragon naman tayo, maging open sa bagong learnings. Tandaan, laging may improvement. Plum at 9. Kay Snake naman tayo, stomach in, chest out. Para iwas tayo sa back pain. Vermilion at 7. Ito naman, give the horsey. Huwag baliwalain ang maliliit na achievement. Lahat ng progreso ay mahalaga. Pink at 5. Sa Year of the Ship naman tayo, huwag ipagpaliban ang regular na check-up upang mapanatili natin ang magandang kalusugan. Green at 3. Kay Year of the Monkey naman tayo, gamitin ang iyong leadership skills upang umangat sa trabaho. Lavender at 9. Kay Year of the Rooster naman tayo, walk with nature to clear your mind. Pink at 6. Sa mga Year of the Dog, huwag all work at no play. Magpahinga para hindi magkasakit. Crimson at 8. At kay Year of the Pig naman tayo, huwag sayangin ang oras sa mga bagay na hindi nakatulong sa iyong pag-unlad. Indigo at 4. Ako po, si Master Hans Kua. Paalala lang, ito po'y patnubay lamang. Ang tunay na swerte ay nagsisimula sa pagiging totoo. Abangan araw-araw ang horoscope of the day. Dito lang po sa It's a Beautiful Day!
Thank you, Master Hans Kua. I miss that favorite part of mine. He doesn't do it anymore. Feeling ko binago na niya because he knows that it's my favorite part. But anyway, my horoscope was,
No, do your favorite part first.
Huh?
Do your favorite part.
It's a beautiful day with me, Master Hans Kua. But anyway, I feel like Master Hans read my calendar because he knows that I'm overdue with my kidney doctor. I was supposed to see her January and it's already
Girl, it's back
May.
in June.
I know, I'm so sorry. Yeah, regular checkups. We'll do that, Master Hans. Thank you so much.
Tapos sabihin niya, you're kidding me. Yung mga kidney doctor niya. But of course, for you, Mo, mag-relax ka raw.
I don't know why, Master
That
Hans.
was your horoscope again?
This whole week. Today, I have to be connected with nature. So that's why I'm wearing green.
No,
I'm
actually,
trying to,
sakto siya sa
Ay, may
susunod
halaman
natin.
naman tayo
Exactly.
here, oh.
Because
No,
you know,
sakto
like
siya
our
sa susunod.
next guest, we're gonna talk about resting and unwinding,
Yes.
which is what I need, clearly, because Master Hans has been telling me all week that I need to relax.
You're so stressful.
I know, right?
Ako stressful. Ikaw yung nagsistress sa akin in the show.
Anyway,
chill.
guys.
Okay, I need to relax. Okay, let's figure
Now
out.
that pre-elections anxiety and my anxiety here in the show has subsided, post-election fatigue arises. Unwind with us after the break as a psychologist shows us how to realign our system after a week of non-stop grinding. Don't go away. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. It's almost the weekend and we need it. Oh, yes. After a non-stop week of midterm election coverage, the big question now is how do we actually unwind and reset? Joining us is psychologist Yang Gatchalian. It's a beautiful day. Prof. Yang, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here in person.
Yes, finally. Prof. Yang, you know what? You being here with us today is so timely because Monique and I, ewan ko kay Paolo, wag natin siya sama. We've been talking about how this week has been so exhausting. We started with the 2-day coverage, which already felt like the entire week packed into 2 days. Yeah. And then 3 days of work again, and talagang nakakapagod. So, let's talk about how we reset, how we de-stress. What are the science-backed ways to unwind after an intense work event?
Yes, everybody I think is feeling it, no? But you don't look like you're exhausted.
Ay, thank you, Prof.
Ang ganda-ganda
Si
niyo
Paolo
parang-
lang na mukhang pagod. But yes, Prof. Yang, thank you.
Lahat tayo, no, everybody's feeling that, especially yung anticipation, and now we have the answer. And still, some people are still frustrated, some are very happy. So mixed emotions. So these mixed emotions actually are not, sometimes they're healthy, sometimes they're not. But first thing is you need to recognize, what am I feeling? No, you need to recognize that. And then, lagi kong tinitignan dyan yung word na arm. No, arms. That acronym says A, first acknowledge what am I experiencing, what am I feeling, and then you recognize it. I feel bad, or I feel good, or I don't know what I'm feeling. That's recognition also. So when you recognize it, whether it's negative or positive, that's good for you because you have the recognition and then you would know what to do. The third letter is manage. So once you recognize it, how am I going to manage it? Who are the people that I need to talk to? What am I going to do next? So dyan pumapasok yung mga creating resilient habits, go back to your usual routine because the past few months have not been very well for you kasi that was not your script. Because we have to remember that like here in the show, you have your script. You have something to follow. You're used to it. So when you get out of your script or your schema, that's what we call it in psychology. When you get out of it, that's when you feel stressed. Kasi this is something new. I'm not used to this. So during the time of election, that was a different script. It's not your usual broadcasting day. It's not your usual night out. Kasi you need to work pa, di ba? Now, you need to go back to your script kasi you're ending another script. And then you need to form another habit or maybe go back to the old one that you got used to. So yun yung management. Dito papasok yung matutulog ka na ulit, no? Or you do micro breaks or mindful transitions para hindi naman bigla yung pagbalik mo dun sa mga old scripts mo. And then the fourth one, most effective, salamat, that's S. You need to appreciate. For example, ay salamat, nanalo yung kandidato ko. Yung iba, hindi, but at least may nanalo, di ba? Appreciating that you did well. Because when you appreciate what you've done, it's a very, very good self-care.
Now, Profi, I know it's not just us who's feeling like the stress and burnout of life. Not just the election coverages, but everybody's tired, right?
Yeah.
Especially this Q2. I feel like a lot has been happening, and I felt like it was just January last month, and now it's almost mid-May, which is crazy. Is there a difference when we talk about resting and resetting? Is there a difference with the two? And if so, what distinguishes that difference?
Okay, resting is taking a break. Resting is giving your body and your mind rest. Resetting is taking another step to change and to maybe when you have rejuvenated, that's reset. So after resting, you're resetting. Kasi resting, marami kasing resting eh. Like you rest because you avoid. Or you rest because you really need to have a genuine restoration. Resting to prepare for another day. Resting to have another restoration. Pero meron din kasing resting to avoid eh. Tutulog lang ako. Ayokong lumabas. I withdraw. They call that rest, but actually it's not resting.
What is that?
That's avoidance. Sometimes you avoid to talk to people. I don't want to talk to this person. Why? Because I don't want to talk about negative things. That's positive, toxic positivity. When you avoid things, when you avoid to face your issues, when you avoid to talk about negative things, that's toxic positivity because you're not facing reality.
So when you reach that point of avoidance, is that already similar to burnout?
Sometimes it is similar to burnout. Burnout is the result of not having good and correct way to rest and reset. Burnout is when you are already fatigued on doing so many things and then there's no recognition, there's no management, and then you will feel burnout. Ang result nun, you will withdraw from people. Sometimes you will hate your job. Papunta ka pa lang dito, naiinis ka na. And then you don't feel motivated to do it.
Prof, you know, what I love about this segment is that this is actually therapy for the entire Bilyonaryo News Channel.
Yes, I know.
Lahat sila nakikinig ngayon. And they're like, oo, tama yan, tama yan. But Prof, I find that so interesting that, you know, you have to differentiate between basically recovering and avoiding. And but then at the same time, some people feel na, okay, pwede na to. That's enough for me to get back on the grind. When is it? When are you ready to go back? What are the signs that you're ready to get back into the grind, put yourself under a degree of stress again?
Yeah, actually, wala naman talagang fit it all. It doesn't, I mean, like, Paolo can go back tomorrow, diba? Or you can go back next week. Iba-iba yun, depending on the gravity of what you've gone through. The severity of the toxicity, no, nung pinagdaanan mo, nung ginawa mo. But you will somehow feel it in your body. You need to relax. You need to talk to your body. May masakit pa ba sa katawan ko? Sabi nga ni Master kanina, di ba? See your doctor.
Yes.
No kidding.
She was listening. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
So you know that something's wrong with your body. I need to see a doctor kasi that will also somehow rest your mind. What is this that I am experiencing right now? Kasi yung deny ka ng deny, that's avoidance. I will not go, I will not go there. Medyo guilty rin ako doon actually. Pero ganun yun eh. You need to go and face it. Kasi when you go and face it, that gives you confidence. It's when you know. Because sometimes it's anticipation that's difficult eh.
Yeah.
When you don't know what's happening.
But I feel like sometimes the hard part too, Profi, is when everybody has a different threshold, right? So like, for example, the election coverage, some people may be exhausted, some people may not. So for those that are exhausted, how do they communicate that they're tired and that they need rest without the other party or like judging them or seeming unprofessional?
First, avoid blaming. Nakapagod kasi itong trabahong to eh. Yung ganon, di ba? Sometimes we do that. But you have to remember, your work is your work and that's your bread and butter. So if you blame it on your work, magsisimula ka magkaroon ng negative views about it and that's not healthy.
Yeah.
You need to focus on what you are experiencing. I am tired right now. I need to focus on this. No?
Profi, sorry, I want to jump in on that because you mentioned I'm tired right now, I want to focus on this. It's exactly how we all feel. When we look at, we actually had a conversation a while ago that you actually have certain methods that you want to show us when it comes to relaxing and addressing those problems in particular. So using Mo as an example, how would you suggest for her to be able to relax?
Profi will show us a demo.
All of us.
Yeah.
Right
'Cause we're
now,
also
dance?
young. Yeah, maybe all
You
of
want to
us.
dance? No.
Anne loves to dance.
Anne will do
Anne
that,
loves to
but-
dance.
That's why hindi ako prepared. Hindi ako nag-practice.
Yeah,
but
we
okay.
will do progressive muscle relaxation.
Okay.
First, we need to remember that sometimes we deny what our body experiences.
Right.
Sometimes you already feel that pain in your buttock or the tension in your muscles, but you deny it. You don't recognize it. So it's time for you to go back to your body. Kanina you mentioned anxiety, di ba?
Yeah.
Anxiety is thinking of things that have not happened yet. So lumalabas ka doon sa reality.
Yeah.
So you need to go back to it by maintaining your senses. So progressive muscle relaxation is recognizing that your muscle is already tired. Okay? So you do it like, think of a lemon. You're squeezing a lemon. You're squeezing it,
hands.
not so hard. And then imagine the juice coming out of the lemon. So not too tight. There's the juice. It feels so good. And then you feel your muscles tensing a bit. And then you let go. Let go of the lemon. What do you feel? And then you can do it again. That's good, Mo. You do that.
Yeah, and it feels good after
Yes. And then you can do it again. But then you will feel that your muscles are tensing. And then when you let go of it, it feels so relaxed.
Yeah.
The goal is to bring your mind back to your body.
How many times do you recommend doing this?
Depends. If you're okay on the third round, then that's good. And then another way is close your eyes and then breathe. You do the square breathing. Inhale 4 seconds. Pause for 4 seconds. And then exhale 4 seconds. And then pause. And then think of a place that you feel relaxed. A favorite place. Think of it right now. You can smile. You feel the breeze. It's so good. It's so good. And you can always go back to it. You can use that as a micro break or a mindful transition. Think of yourself now as relaxed, and then your body also feels so relaxed. And then you can just move a little, be gentle. All right, and then count 1 to 5 so we can go back here and open our eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Wow.
I'm so sleepy. I was imagining my bed.
Same!
Direct was like smiles. Imagine your favorite place. I'm like, Direct, I'm sleeping.
I imagined my bed with my dog there, and then when you said you feel the breeze, I feel the aircon.
I know,
I couldn't really fully get into it kasi in my head I was like, wait, I'm still on TV. But at the same time, sign yun that I gotta, kailangan may
He
release
needs
to
to relax.
afterwards.
Yeah, he's thinking too much.
Actually, that was a very short
Yeah.
way of doing it. In class, when I was doing my hypnotherapy class with Father Bulato, he's my professor in Ateneo. We would do that in class and we feel so relaxed. And that's part of hypnotherapy actually, when you make yourself believe that you are in a good place, when you make yourself believe that you can do things, that you are okay. So you do positive talk, self-talk to yourself. Remember that what goes in your mind is what goes in your body.
Profi,
All about mindset.
we really appreciate you for this therapy kasi I can guarantee you, pati yung mga cameraman naman they went to
They
their
followed,
happy place.
yeah, they
and
followed
see
that.
Direct as well. But of course, before we wrap this up, congratulations to the Perpetual Health Medical Center Las Piñas, which won at the Healthcare Asia Awards this year. Of course, congratulations on that award. We cannot wait to hear more about it soon. Unfortunately, we are running out of time. So hopefully,
Thank you, Profi.
we need
Thank
this.
you so much. We needed that.
We need this more than you realize. But thank you so much for joining us. She's psychologist, Ms. Yeng Gatchalian. Maraming
Thank
salamat
you.
po.
Maraming
Thank you,
salamat.
Profi.
Thank you. Do that.
Yes, 100%.
We will.
Well, that is it for us this Friday, May 16. That is a sign that siguro kailangan ko mag-break next week. Paano kaya yun? I'm Paolo del Rosario. Thank you for joining us.
I'm Anne Asis-Carilo. Quick shout out to our face and beauty sponsors, Lip Clinic and Pino Beauty Lounge. Make this weekend unforgettable by choosing joy and spreading love and kindness wherever you go.
And I'm Monique Tuzon. Speaking of a much-needed break, I will be gone for the next, I think, 2.5 weeks.
Yes!
I will be going to Italy, so if you guys miss me, just message me on Instagram. And for any violent reactions, like I said, voice talentita, okay? Send me I miss you notes. I hope you guys have a great weekend ahead. Join them again on Monday, 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. only here on
It's a Beautiful Day!